Hi guys, Billy back, and this time we're going to be looking at the 1/10 scale Iron Man Mark 1 by ZD Toys. And this is specifically the light up version. You can tell because it's got this little banner in the top left hand corner here, and I think it's because it does have an LED in it, has USB cables, the whole lot. So it's going to be really interesting to see this one. Now I have the others in my collection and I really like them. Okay, and as you can see, it's the same box as before. It's got the Disney logo in the bottom right hand corner because it is a fully licensed product, no third party here. You can see a picture of the figure here. We've got another picture of the figure in the background, all the Iron Man logos. We've got a dark and dark reactor there. Then on the side, Mark 1, again, just a picture of the figure. Then on the back, you've got all the promo pics, and we've got some lovely writing in the back there. And then on the left hand side is another promo pic with the Iron Man logo on it. And that is it, honestly. If you really want to have a good look at the box, go back and watch the non-LED version. But honestly, there's not much to say other than it's a square box. It's very thick card, it is very sturdy, it is very well made. I really like the packaging of these. I think they did a really great job. And then it's got a central cut in the middle that's hinged, so you can open it up. There are magnets that keep it closed, and you can pop them open. And then you can see on the inside there is this piece of card with a picture of the figure there again. Because this is the LED version, I would have liked to have seen them put a little bit of a light up feature in here to show it off. And then on the back you've got all the directions for the stand. And this is the figure inside. If we pull it open, you see that's the figure in that tray, and then there's another tray underneath, and it's got the stand, it's got the fire effects, and it's got the back piece. And that's about it. Plus it's also got this USB lead, so you can charge this guy up. Okay, let's get the guy out and have a look at exactly what it's like. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you're going to want to charge this guy when you get him out of the box. He's got a micro USB port on the back, and you can see it plugs straight in there. And you can see that this lights up red, and that's telling you that it's charging. Then when it goes off, that's when it's fully charged. So yeah, that's pretty good, although I'm not sure about the button on the back there. I think the back piece is going to cover that up, and you might have to pull it on and off just to turn him on, which is a bit frustrating. Okay, so while that's charging up, let's have a look at the accessories. You can see he comes with the stand that he came with the non-light up version. It's pretty plain clear acrylic, and you can see it's got Marvel Studios logo on the bottom, and it's got a spring clasp clamp up here. There are two hinges, one that goes forward and back, and then one that goes left and right. And then you've got the stem, and there's also another hinge here and another hinge here. And if you really wanted to do, you can push this all the way down, and then you've got more like a waist grabber. It's very nice, it's very simple, and like I said, it does kind of match with all the other figures, except for it doesn't have the Iron Man 1 logo like some of the previous releases. Some of them had Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, depending on what movie they came from, but this one, just simple Marvel Studios, which is fine by me. And I have to say, it's really nice, it's quite subtle, and because it is clear, it brings all your focus back to the figure itself rather than steal all the attention, which I really like. And he also comes with two flame effects, one for each arm, and you can see they just attach just here on the side, and they make it look like he's blasting fire out, just like he did in the movie. It's very nice translucent yellow, and then it turns into a nice sort of fiery orange by the end. And then he comes with this really cool back piece that has lots of detail in and lots of mechanics and stuff. And it really shows the detail and depth that ZD Toys have gone in to try and reproduce the Mark 1. Okay, first off, when we come in, you can see I'm still charging the figure, but this piece here is sort of warped and bent and sort of sticking out quite far. Now the last one I had did that as well, and all I had to do was warm it up with a hairdryer. Okay, so we've warmed it up, and you can see it's still flexible from the heat from the hairdryer. Then we're just going to press it down. Then you're just going to hold it there until it cools down again, and then Bob's your uncle. Okay, coming in and having a look at paint application, we can see that it is exactly the same as the non-light up version. Very nice details in the paint application. You can see it's still got that dirty iron look. It's fantastic. It's got the paint chip pieces. It's got some grey sort of green military paint sort of spattered throughout it. Got the chipping on this plate here. Even coming down, you can see they've actually painted in the gas cylinders on the back of the legs as well, which is a really nice detail. All the metal plates have dents and sort of imperfections in them, and you can see there's sort of like soldering and welding and whatnot. And you can see that they actually got more detail in the art reactor this time than they did last time. Here is the original version, which actually just has like a clear window in there, and it's not massively detailed, but you can see in the LED version it works a lot better, which is surprising because you think as this one has got a clear window, this would be the LED version, and this would be the non-light up version, but it's actually the opposite way round. And you can see what they've done on the back here is what I predicted in the last video, was that they would actually put the button there when they're actually making the LED version, and I was exactly right. But yeah, they've still gone with that sort of blank eyepiece in there. They haven't put any details behind it, which is a bit of a shame. Even if they'd have painted them black, I would have preferred that. Articulation is exactly the same as before. There isn't a hell of a lot in here. There is a bit of movement in the head there. The arms can do a T pose. This arm can bend just a fraction. This arm can bend a lot more to 90 degrees. The arms can go all the way round. There's virtually no torso articulation whatsoever. He does have drop down hips, so you can extend these out if you want to stick his legs out a little bit further. His legs can go up quite far. There is one single bend in the knee there, and the feet are on ball joints but don't move around a heck of a lot, but there is some movement. There is a slight looseness to the hip, you can hear it squeaking away there, but it's still super sturdy. You can just plonk him on very confidently. He's not going to be falling down anytime soon. So even though there is a slight sort of looseness in the hip, once the body weight of the upper torso sits on it, it stands up absolutely fine. And that's what I really like about these ZD Toys figures. They just have really, really great balance. Okay, let's take a look at what we all came to see, the LED light up feature. Press it on. As you can see, it lights up pretty nice. And because of that extra detail in there now, it looks a lot more movie accurate. God, that looks good. Fortunately, it is hidden behind the back piece. So if we put this back piece on, just takes a little bit to slot it in. Get in there, you bugger. And then you can see very nice details as per usual. And the LED function lights up really nicely. But again, in order to turn it on and off, you're going to have to reach back here, pull this back piece off, press it off, then press it on again, and then you've got to put that back piece back on, which is a bit of a pain, because as we can see with, say, the Mark IV, you can turn it around the back and that button is just exposed from the beginning. So you can light this guy up on and off as much as you want just by reaching around the back and pressing the button. There's no fuss, there's no messing about, but with this guy it is a little bit more fiddly. Overall, this is again the exact same release we got from ZD Toys before, except now with an LED built into the chest, so he looks a little bit more movie accurate. And I have to say, that really does add something to the figure itself. Whether or not it's worth $5 more than the initial release, I'm not entirely sure, simply because the only difference is that it has an LED light up feature in the chest, and there is a tiny bit more detail in the arc reactor itself. But other than that, it's all exactly the same as the non-light up version. I'm really, really glad I picked him up. However, if you do have the original Mark I without the light up feature, you may struggle a little bit to justify the amount of money that this guy costs extra just for that little additional feature. And here he is with a few of the other suits from the LED ZD Toys collection. We do have the Mark I, we've got the Mark VI, we've got the Mark II, and we've got the Mark IV. I do also have the Mark III, but there's just not enough room for it on the turntable. But you can see just how great these all look together. And with that LED light up feature, they're like just very tiny small Hot Toys, except they're in some ways a little bit better because they actually just have a one button press and you can turn them on and off, and then you can charge them with USB. And I absolutely love what they're doing with this range. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. If you do me a favour now, if you get out of my cave, I've got a new Hot Toy that just arrived. Well, I say new, it's new to me. It's been out for about a year and a half, but you know, I'm going to go play with that thing now. Thanks a lot guys, bye bye.